Hi guys, welcome to my channel Literature Lover. Today is a very special day. Today is 3rd June, and on this day Allen Ginsberg was born. He was born on 3rd June in the year 1926. So today's my video is on Allen Ginsberg, his life and works. Let's continue. Watch till end, and if you like such videos, please like and subscribe my channel to get the fast notification of such kind of videos. Erwin Allen Ginsberg was born on 3rd June 1926 and he died on 5th April 1997. He was an American poet and writer. As a student at Columbia University in the 1940s, he began friendships with William S. Burroughs and Jack Kerouac, forming the core of the Beat generation. He was one of the most important figure in the Beat generation. The Beat generation was a literary movement started by a group of authors whose work explored and influenced American culture and politics in the post-war era. The bulk of their work was published and popularized throughout the 1950s. The central elements of beat culture are the rejection of standard narrative values, making a spiritual quest, the exploration of American and Eastern religions, the rejection of economic materialism, explicit portrayals of the human condition, experimentation with psychedelic drugs, and sexual liberation and exploration. Now, coming to Allen Ginsberg, he vigorously opposed militarism, economic materialism, and sexual repression, and he embodied various aspects of this counterculture with his views on drugs, hostility to bureaucracy, and openness to Eastern religions. Ginsberg is best known for his poem Howl, in which he denounced what he saw as the destructive forces of capitalism and conformity in the United States. San Francisco Police and U.S. Customs seized Howl in 1956, and it attracted widespread publicity in 1957 when it became the subject of an obscenity trial as it described heterosexual and homosexual sex at a time when sodomy laws made homosexual acts as a crime in every state. The poem reflected Ginsberg's own sexuality and his relationship with a number of men, including Peter Orlovsky, his lifelong partner. Judge Clayton W. Horn ruled that Howl was not obscene. Would there be any freedom of press or speech if one must reduce his vocabulary to vapid, innocuous euphemisms? I quote Judge Clayton W. Horn. Ginsberg was a Buddhist who studied Eastern religious disciplines extensively. He lived modestly, buying his clothing in second-hand stores and residing in apartments in New York's East Village. One of his most influential teachers was Tibetan Buddhist Chogyam Trungpa, the founder of the Naropa Institute in Boulder, Colorado. Now I am coming to Ginsberg's life and family. Ginsberg was born into a Jewish family in New Jersey, and grew up in nearby Paterson. He was the second son of Louis Ginsberg, a schoolteacher and sometime poet, and the former Naomi Levy, a Russian emigre and fervent Marxist. As a teenager, Ginsberg began to write letters to the New York Times about political issues such as World War II and workers' rights. He published his first poems in the Paterson Morning Call. While in high school, Ginsberg became interested in the works of Walt Whitman, inspired by his teacher's passion for reading. In 1943, Ginsberg graduated from East Side High School and briefly attended Montclair State College before entering Columbia University on a scholarship from the Young Men's Hebrew Association of Paterson. In 1945, he joined the Merchant Marine to earn money to continue his education at Columbia. While at Columbia, Ginsberg contributed to the Columbia Review literary journal. The Jester humor magazine won the Woodbury Poetry Prize, served as president of the Philoxian Society, and joined Boar's Head Society, which was a kind of poetry society. Ginsberg has stated that he considered his required freshman seminar in great books taught by Lionel Trilling to be his favorite Columbia course. In 1948, in an apartment in Harlem, Ginsberg had an auditory hallucination while reading the poetry of William Blake, which was referred as Blake Vision. I am using a quotation, Blake vision. At first, Ginsberg claimed to have heard the voice of God, but later interpreted the voice as that of Blake himself reading Sunflower, the Sick Rose, and Little Girl Lost, also described by Ginsberg as voice of the ancient days. The experience lasted several days. Ginsberg believed that he had witnessed the interconnectedness of the universe. He looked at lattice work on the fire escape and realized some hand had crafted that. He then looked at the sky and intuited that some hand had crafted that also, rather that the sky was the hand that crafted itself. He explained that this hallucination was not inspired by drug use, but said he sought to recapture that feeling later with various drugs. Ginsberg stated, I am quoting his own words, not that some hand had placed the sky, but the sky was the living blue hand itself, or that God was in front of my eyes, existence itself was God, and it was a sudden awakening into a totally deeper real universe than I had been existing in. It was a kind of Blake vision, which he called itself so. Now, I am talking about some works by Allen Ginsberg. The most influential and the most famous work by Allen Ginsberg was Howl, which was published in the book Howl and Other Poems, published in 1956. Then the other publication of book is Cadiz and Other Poems in 1961, and the others are Reality Sandwiches in 1963, which was followed by The Age Letters 1963 and Planet News 1968, Indian Journals 1970. The Fall of America, Poems of These States, published in 1973, and then Iron Horse published in 1973, and next Mind Breathes in 1978. White Shroud Poems, published in 1986, Deliberate Prose, published in 2000. He was awarded many honors. His collection The Fall of America shared the annual U.S. National Book Award for Poetry in 1974. In 1979, he received the National Arts Club Gold Medal and was inducted into the American Academy and Institute of Arts and Letters. Ginsberg was a Pulitzer Prize finalist in 1995 for his book Cosmopolitan Greetings, Poems 1986 to 1992. Now, I am reciting his most famous poem Howl. I am reciting some parts and portion of his poem Howl to pay homage to the great American poet and the beat poet. Howl by Allen Ginsberg. I saw the best minds of my generation destroyed by madness, starving, hysterical, naked, dragging themselves through the Negro streets at dawn looking for an angry fix. Angle-headed hipsters burning for the ancient heavenly connection to the starry dynamo in the machinery of night, who poverty and tatters and hollow-eyed and high sat up smoking in the supernatural darkness of cold water flats floating across the tops of cities contemplating judge, who bared their brains to heaven under the ale and saw Mohammedan angels staggering on tenement roofs illuminated, who passed through the universities with radiant cool eyes, hallucinating Arkansas and black light tragedy among the scholars of war, who were expelled from the academies for crazy and publishing obscene odes on the windows of the skull, who cowered in the unshaven rooms in underwear, burning their money in waste baskets and listening to the terror through the wall, who got busted in their public beards returning through Laredo with a belt of marijuana for New York, who ate fire in paint hotels or drank turpentine in Paradise Alley, death or purgatoried their torsos night after night with dreams, with drugs, with waking nightmares, alcohol and coke and endless balls. Incomparable blind streets of shuddering cloud and lightning in the mind, leaping toward poles of Canada and Peterson, illuminating all the motionless world of time between. Thank you so much. for watching my video. Please keep connected and subscribe and click all videos to get fast notification of my videos. So this is a kind of tribute and homage to the great poet, American beat poet Allen Ginsberg on his birth anniversary. Thank you so much.